Is there a city where poolside nachos and snowbank-sized sundaes are considered normal?
Viva Las Vegas, baby.
It's like a break from reality.
There's something for everybody here.
It's a little naughty, yes.
There's no rules here. Anything goes.
Burgers beyond imagination, unprecedented pizza, and grandma's greatest recipes all in one place? I'm in.
It's ridiculous. I can do that all day.
That's like spectacular.
Why go anywhere else?
In Vegas, they put the ain't in restraint.
Wow. It's amazing.
It's all the food you like, but more and better.
That's what I'm talking about. What more could you ask for, really?
That's classic Las Vegas.
In Vegas, life's a bacchanalian delight, filled with sumptuous snacks and free-flowing spirits, especially when you're poolside at Caesar's Palace.
You're here, you got the pool, you got the sunshine, you got the drinks. It's just a great time.
Recline while you dine. Like the ancient Greeks, the servers will deliver delicious delicacies straight to your lounge chair from Snackus Maximus.
Why go anywhere else? Just look around. This is like heaven.
This seven-pool playground, known as the Garden of the Gods, only serves food fit for the discerning deity, like their smoky chili Jack Daniels nachos.
Poolside is all about finger food. Well, these can be eaten with your fingers. They'll also help you float a little bit. There's so much fat in them.
But you know, the good fat, like you get with the mountains of meat and beans and Wade's spiked chili.
The recipe for the chili actually goes back into my family. It was always what my mother would make, especially during football games. The whiskey came from me.
Mama always told Wade a gentleman browns his bacon lardons.
We're gonna let this render. We're gonna get the flavor out of it. We want that to brown up nicely before we add any other ingredient to this.
Such as grade A ground beef and red onions.
There's sweet red onions, a lot more sugar, so a lot more flavor. Chopped garlic. We want them to saute in the fat. If you're making this and you're eating it, you will need some mince.
Noted. Now, where does that great color come from?
You just added in the chili powder. It's very dark red. It's ground very finely. Can you smell it? You guys can. I can. This is chili.
The tomatoey tang comes from two different sources.
We're gonna add in some pico de gallo. The second one is a house-made tomato sauce. They are going to form a combination that will react on your tongue. Tastes more like tomatoes.
Jalapenos are a nacho staple, but former New Mexico resident Wade gives a spicy shout-out to his homies.
Santa Fe, we don't use jalapenos. We use green chilies.
Any other chili advice?
Taste everything. Oh, baby. Woo.
Finally, a little shot that reminds Wade of where he came from.
Alcohol has a very low boiling point. This is going to cook off. So we're not going to get that alcohol. We're going to get the whiskey flavor in this. Think this thing tastes good now? In 2 hours, it's going to taste even better.
Here's the shreddy fundamentals.
This is one thing that a lot of people don't do. But this is how it started. The cheese has to be melted on the chips. We're going to take this, we're going to melt it in the salamander. You can see the cheese bubbling right up in here.
Meltiness oozes over every corn chip, but Wade pushes the cheese throttle further.
I've also got chili con queso. Two cheeses are always better than one. We're going to take our chili. We want to cover this.
A final flourish, and these nachos are ready to conquer the world.
Snackus Maximus, when you want to eat like a Caesar.
Oh, wow. Those are amazing. Little spicy, little sweet. I can actually taste the whiskey in the chili, which is amazing.
I love it. I want to have alcohol in my food, too, when I'm in Vegas. Why not?
Drink, nachos, swim, and repeat.
For maximum fun in the Vegas sun, float on over to Snackus Maximus.
We gotta come back next week, 100%.
Welcome to Las Vegas.
He's talking downtown Vegas, baby. The sanctuary of swank since way back when. Nowadays, it's anchored by Oscar's Steakhouse in the Plaza Hotel, owned by former three-term mayor Oscar Goodman.
When I was elected, I said one of the things I have to do is to revitalize the downtown, to give it the energy that it deserves. And that's one of the reasons I love the restaurant, because the Dome faces out on the great Fremont Street experience with the millions of people a year who walk by there.
If you look outside here, all the bright lights and all the flashing images, this feels more like what Las Vegas used to be and what it should be. And in terms of quality of food, you can't go wrong here.
Especially with something so right as Joe Pig's pork chop.
Wow.
It's a big pork chop.
And it's got a big backstory. You see, before Oscar was the mayor, he was a mob lawyer. No kidding. Most of the items on the menu are named for clients and other connected individuals.
Joe Pig's a former chef for a lot of the mafia guys, used to go into his restaurant back in the day, and he was known for doing pork. And you know, as soon as Oscar saw the pork chop, he said it's gotta be Joe Pig's.
What sets it apart?
For the Joe Pig's pork chop, gotta have bone-in pork. A lot of fat around the edge of it. Fat is flavor, like they say.
Flavor that's enhanced by a curing mix of kosher salt, brown sugar, and garlic.
You're gonna make sure you get from the bottom up, and then putting it on top, you're gonna make sure you get the curing from the top down as well.
The pork will cure in the fridge for 45 minutes while Chef Jeff slices apples for pork's most notorious accomplice.
The tradition of pork chops and applesauce from, back in the 60s, and we just tried to take it to a different level.
Skip the sauce, he's making chunky apple chutney. Tart Granny Smith's saute in brown sugar, then it's a Sin City shot of rum.
We'll burn off all the alcohol so you still get that rum flavor. And now we're gonna add a little bit of the butter to it. Vegas in the pot right here with a little bit of everything.
Some sprinkles of nutmeg and cinnamon, and into the blender it goes. A quick spin, and what's the verdict?
That's so delicious.
But we've got miles to go before we eat. The pork chops return from their rest cure and get transferred to a smoking pan. Then Jeff builds some kitchen kindling from 4 different flavored woods.
I have a pecan wood, a apple wood, a hickory, and a mesquite. This is Vegas, baby. We gotta do something different.
It's a fast smoke. Just 15 minutes is all they need.
Now all the smoke flavors right inside that pork chop.
And Chef Jeff has a license to grill.
So cooking on the grill, you're gonna get more flavor from the little bit of char on it. So there, we've got a nice little diamond marks there, just like a royal flush in Vegas, baby.
He deals out a matched pair of those pork chops, then antes up his signature chutney and some house-made barbecue sauce. Then it's a final draw of pan-fried wild mushrooms for a tasty full house.
And here we have it, Joe Pig's pork chop.
Wow, that's what I'm talking about right there.
The pork chop mixes very well with that barbecue sauce. That smoky and that sweet, perfect combination.
It's juicy, it's cooked perfectly, and I like the combination of the sauteed mushrooms with the apple chutney. It's delicious.
It's one of those things you just can't get at home. And that right there's some good stuff.
Another good fella from Oscar's menu is the Tony Spilotro strip steak.
Tony Spilotro, who reputedly was the mob's representative here in Las Vegas. He made the steak in the way that we make it here too. Take a skirt steak and you make little holes and then you put garlic in there and it's in their memory and it makes me smile.
Oscar's a spicy guy, like crushed red pepper spicy.
We're gonna take the crushed red pepper here and we're gonna add it to each of the garlic cloves. It's gonna give you just a nice little burn. You like to have it a little spicy here. Everything's hotter in the desert.
After marinating overnight, that seriously seasoned steak is given to the grill. And we're given advice.
When you start to cook it, you should always put the garlic down first and it'll stay in the meat. If you put it garlic side up, they'll start to cook and pop out.
And that garlic's way too good to lose.
You can smell this cooking a mile away. You can almost get that little hint of spice in your nose saying, oh, this is gonna be so good once it comes off that grill.
The spicy steak is joined by creamy mashed potatoes, and the whole table wins.
Spilotro. It's fiery as the man it's named after.
Wow, that's incredible. It's been spiced perfectly, really juicy as well. The creaminess of the mash really brings out the flavor in the steak. It's one of the best pieces of meat I've ever had, I think.
Feeling a little bit of the heat coming on, a little around the collar a little bit. The spice in it kind of sneaks up on you a little bit, and
The steak is cooked perfectly.
And it's a different take on a traditional steak and potato plate, and that's what Vegas is known for. They take, you know, a basic meal and they add their own flair to it, which makes it even better.
And that's been Oscar's plan all along.
You eat a great steak, you have a drink, you're half lit, you enjoy the whole ambiance of it, and that's Vegas.
Sundays in Vegas are all about more, more, more.
It is everything in a Sunday that you've ever dreamed about.
In Las Vegas, they're winning at the blackjack tables and sinning at the dinner tables.
There's no rules here. Anything goes.
This is everything.
They say gluttony is one of the 7 deadly sins. This is a place to do it.
You're sure to succumb to temptation at this desert dessert showcase, Sugar Factory. Owner Carissa Davidovici has formulated the perfect recipe for a very Vegas sweet shop.
We're a family business. We don't settle with just a restaurant. Vegas is over the top. We're over the top. They experience a fun time. They have fun. They celebrate. We live the sweet life here for sure.
It's always high energy. It's always a party here. It's the sweetest spot in Vegas, hands down.
Brian is the candy man who concocts the sinful mischief of the campfire spiked s'mores milkshake.
It's an over-the-top milkshake. I mean, you've never seen anything like it.
The inspiration for me is really when you see the look on the guest's face when they see the dessert dropped in front of them or they take that first bite.
His shake and awe strategy starts with a great ganache.
These are our chocolate coins.
That Choco Jackpot bathes in melted butter, followed by a wallow in warm cream.
Now we're gonna let the flavors melt together overnight.
The whole thing gets built in and around the deepest cup they could find.
Cold mug right out of the freezer, and we dip that into our ganache.
And Brian sticks the landing with everything he could get his hands on.
Start with our chocolate chunks, graham cracker chunks, graham cracker crumble, mini marshmallows next.
Then, in case you forgot where we are,
gold dust. Gives it a little sparkle, a little sheen, and a little bling.
Brian scoops in milk chocolate and coffee ice creams, then kicks it up a scotch.
We're at the fun stuff. It's a little Virginia black whiskey. This gives it a little kick at the end.
Chase that with a shot of espresso. But even the typical toppings here have that little something extra.
Next, we're gonna top it off with some vanilla bean whipped cream. Sinfully good.
A homemade brownie seals the deal with a double layer of s'mores fixings stacked on top.
Vegas, baby. Final touch with a little brulee. Campfire spiked s'mores milkshake, sinfully good.
This is Vegas. Dessert first.
So my plan of attack of eating this is I'm going to go straight for the whiskey.
It's so thick, it's so velvety, it's decadent, it's so rich.
Oh my God. That's a good brownie. It's sweet, it's chocolatey. This is like adult Candyland in this milkshake.
Looking at it, it really makes me feel like a kid. I'm an adult now. This is amazing.
The sweetness goes from high to wide as we meet up with this monster of a party starter, the King Kong Sundae.
It is everything in a Sunday that you've ever dreamed about.
The inspiration for this was just we wanted something over the top, wow factor, that we could stop the dining room with every time we brought one out.
At over 5 pounds and 10,000 calories, this could get hairy.
First, our caramel sauce. Next, strawberry sauce, my favorite. Chocolate sauce.
Then it's solid cold. Brian gives us a roll call on those flavors.
Vanilla bean, milk chocolate, mint chip, birthday cake, strawberry, mango sorbet, raspberry sorbet, rocky road, cookie dough, and cookies and cream. Put our whipped cream.
And there ain't no stopping.
Now we're gonna start topping. First, pretzels. Next, white chocolate strawberry curls. Brownie chunks. Homemade red velvet cake bites. Gives you a little bit of that red carpet feel.
Followed by gummy bears, chocolate malt balls, and rainbow sprinkles.
Unicorn pops. The height, the color, everyone loves a unicorn.
How about dealing us in a few wild cards?
Fresh glazed donut, just because. Homemade chocolate chip cookie, waffle cones, candy necklaces. Not a Sunday without a cherry on top.
Now bring on the pyrotechnics.
People want over the top, we're gonna give them over the top.
Sensational.
You want to go big in Vegas? Here's the King Kong Sundae.
My God! Is that so good?
Just completely twisted. I feel like a big kid.
You're actually tasting each individual thing, and that's like spectacular.
I love the sprinkles. Sugar heaven.
To Sugar Factory!
This old school Italian joint will have you living like a baller.
This is worth the trip to Vegas right here.
And it's no stretch to say, this picante pizza is gonna set your world on fire.
Proceed with caution.
It wouldn't be a true trip to Las Vegas without a stop at an old school Italian joint. And they don't come much more classic than Rayo's at Caesar's Palace.
It's authentic, and you're not gonna get more authentic in Las Vegas than Rayo's.
You walk in, you feel like that old Rat Pack vibe.
Rayo's has been in East Harlem since 1896. In Harlem, we only have 10 tables. But here in Las Vegas, we have 105 tables, 10 times the size of New York.
The fourth-generation owner, Frank Pellegrino Jr., grew up at Rayo's in New York City, waiting tables, cooking, and managing the family business. Now, as the head of the Vegas location, he wants customers to experience that same family-style cooking they're known for.
Eating at the restaurant is like coming over to my grandmother's house on a Sunday.
Nothing says Nona's Kitchen like Rayo's world-famous meatballs.
They are pretty darn famous, more famous than anyone ever thought they could be. I think my dad started this trend way back in the 80s, and then it seems like everybody else kind of followed along. But you can't go wrong with great-grandma's meatball recipe.
Frank knows his way around the kitchen. He's been in one since he was 5.
My apprenticeship started with my grandmother and my grandaunt, Annie Pellegrino, who was the chef at Rayo's in New York. And my grandmother would sit me at a table with a rolling pin, which was, to me, a steamroller, like a Tonka truck.
Rayo's recipe passed from his great-aunt to his dad, Frankie Sr. But today, the meatballs are in Frankie Jr.'s capable hands.
We have beef, veal, and pork. The three meats together really enhance the flavor profile and adds another dimension to the overall taste. You basically come from the outside of the bowl and come in. It's kind of like making dough.
Salt, pepper, parsley, and a pair of eggs are also folded in, and they're edging towards irresistible.
My grandmother used to have to hide the meatballs after she fried them because everybody would steal one before they got to the sauce.
A little water, unseasoned breadcrumbs, and pecorino romano are the ties that bind it all together.
Now we're ready to roll, literally. And voila, perfect meatball. I grew up making them this way. Aunt Anna would put them right in the pan like this. These balls are the family jewels.
Those jewels are set when they reach a golden brown and finish cooking in Rayo's legendary marinara sauce.
This is my great-grandmother's recipe for marinara sauce right here. When it marries with the meatballs, it's incredible.
Those meatballs soak in the fresh San Marzano tomato sauce and get plated with a touch of Romano and parsley.
Rayo's meatballs, a true classic. Enjoy.
These are way bigger than I thought they were gonna be. Oh my God. Wow. That's amazing.
This meatball is definitely the best meatball I've ever had.
Yeah. That's the bomb.
Yes, sir.
They're light. There's the flavors of the multiple meats that they use in it. And then, of course, the signature Rayo sauce. This is worth the trip to Vegas right here.
Definitely the juiciest meatball I've ever had. There's the perfect amount of seasoning. It feels like a lot of love has gone into this meatball.
Reminds me a lot of my grandma's 10-hour Italian sauce. If she was here, she'd probably smack me because I said it'd be better, but this is pretty darn tasty.
This is heaven in Sin City.
Vegas is definitely a steak town, and Rayo's is a big reason why. One of the oldest dishes on their menu is the steak pizzaiola.
It's been on our menu at Rayo's, heaven knows, at least 50 years.
Frank begins with smashed garlic cloves in hot olive oil.
Once this garlic starts to shimmer, I'm just gonna move it around the pan a little bit, and then I'm going to remove it.
With the oil flavored, he gets a little salty with the steak.
Time to bring some New York strip to the Las Vegas strip. I never get tired of this sound.
Once all the sides have a good sear, he removes the steak to make his sauce.
We put all the vegetables in the same pan so that we can build the flavors layer by layer. We put the bell peppers in first. Now I'm gonna add our onions. Our mission is to bring Mother Nature to your table, period.
For example, another dose of San Marzanos.
One of the secrets to their incredible flavor is that they're grown in volcanic soil.
The steak rejoins the sizzling sauce until it's a perfect medium rare.
A little parsley, steak pizzaiola, abbondanza.
Oh,
Wow.
crispy meat, perfectly tender in the center. Oh, it's amazing.
Tender and juicy, what more could you ask for, really? I have never thought I'd put marinara on a steak. I'll tell you what, it works.
I've never had a steak cooked like that with all the peppers and everything on top. It's delicious.
So tender. And then you've got that little bit of that kick, which is wow. That's classic Las Vegas.
If you can get a table, the hardest part of a dinner at Rayo's is figuring out who gets the last meatball.
I'll fight you for
I'll
it.
fight. I was just gonna say, I'll fight
for
you.
that last meatball.
No need to pause the party when hunger comes knocking in Vegas. Pizza is always on the table at the Aria's 550 Pizza Bar.
We serve pizza all day long and into the wee hours of the evening. It's a great craving food. I love pizza for breakfast. I love pizza late night. I mean, there's really no time of day that it's not perfect.
I come to 550 every time I'm in Vegas. Absolutely the best pizza in town, without a doubt.
Next order, guys, 2 truffle, 2 picante, followed by margarita.
It's created by Chef Sean, whose search for the ideal sauce-to-cheese action started in childhood.
I grew up with a mom who didn't cook very much, so pizza was definitely a staple.
His curiosity led him to run the numbers on the oven.
The name 550 is actually derived from the oven temperature. This temperature kind of really was our sweet spot.
The sweet smokiness of apricot wood is the perfect fuel to fire up the picante pizza.
As the name implies, it definitely has some spice. By the time you get through one of those pies, you'll be feeling it.
The boldness is based in Sean's pepper spike tomato sauce.
The base of the sauce is a house red sauce, but where we kind of veer off course here is with the chili paste.
But first, the basics.
Just sauteing the garlic and onions, super aromatic. And we're gonna go ahead and do some fresh oregano as well as fresh basil. It's a little touch of the old country.
Spice level 1, dried chili flakes.
You gotta bring the heat in Vegas here.
Level 2, Sean's secret layer of super spice.
It's a combination of smoked and dried chilies. Sin City, gotta go big or go home. Definitely feel that spice in your lungs coming up.
The sweetness of sugar and earthiness of red wine mellow out the heat.
The most important ingredient is the tomatoes. We use the San Marzano style. Super juicy, not too tart, not too sweet. Just want to make sure some of the bigger chunks are broken down. And then we're going to stick this on a low heat and really let those flavors meld together over a course of 2-3 hours.
The ideal dough comes from a 5-year-old sourdough starter, which gets hand-stretched.
There's something about an artisan dough.
Sean layers on our sauce, but he's not nearly done giving this pizza some pop.
First thing we're going to do is do a little bit of Calabrian chilies. These kind of have a subtle pickle taste to them.
Their house cheese blend of mozzarella, provolone, and bel paese provide a subtle bed for ghost chili salami.
Ghost chili, although sounds scary, really has a really great flavor. And combined with the nice fattiness of the salami is a really good balance.
Don't think we're done packing on the peppers.
We're gonna go with a bell pepper and these shishitos. The fun thing about these is you never know. One could be super hot, one could be kind of sweet. Roll the dice.
The chilies provide the heat, but the oven adds the char.
Get nice even browning and charring around. All right, I think we're there. Picante pizza from 550 Restaurant. So spicy, it's a sin.
Ooh. These red ones, I would be aware. Proceed with caution.
Whoa.
I didn't even get to taste all the different peppers, but just that little bit, it's already like tingling my tongue.
And you even got the ghost peppers in there. You don't even see those, but they're there.
Sauce is super tangy and just hot and warm, and that really good feeling that you want when you bite into a pizza.
This is so cheesy. It makes me so happy just seeing that cheese. That's when you know you got a good pizza.
High rollers at $5.50 go top shelf with the truffle pizza.
Something about truffles are exotic. They really have a really deep, earthy, mushroomy, umami flavor that just adds a lot of dimension to foods.
The base for this pie, a decadent bechamel.
We're gonna go ahead and add our onions.
Flour thickens the bechamel, while milk creates a velvety smoothness.
A little white wine here for some acidity, and because we love white wine.
Chef Sean strains the onions for a silky texture, then compounds the creaminess with another curveball cheese, Crescenza.
Definitely gives it a more complex and rich flavor. Everything we do is high roller. This is what takes it to the next level. This is black truffle peeling.
He doubles down with truffle oil, then spreads the sauce on our dough.
Potatoes and the truffles are really a great match. Another little dimension to the pizza. Again, a little bit of mozzarella, provolone, and bel paese.
Richness grows with truffle-infused salami.
We're just layering the truffles throughout the pizza. And then finally, some beautiful black truffle. Truffle pizza at $5.50. Now that's a jackpot.
It just tastes more luxurious than your normal pepperoni pizza. I can taste kind of the earthiness of the truffles. It's kind of a little bit smoky. It's really good. Wow. It tastes like scalloped potatoes mixed with this awesome truffle. It's so good.
If you hit a jackpot out there, the first place I'm coming is right here to get another one of these truffle pizzas.
Any way you slice it, everybody wins at $5.50 Pizza Bar.
I'm ready for the whole pie.
The battle for the hottest burger in Vegas is really heating up.
It's really hot, but it won't stop me.
When classic all-American burgers play Vegas, you know they're gonna be bigger, better, and badder than ever.
Is it a naughty hamburger, you think?
It's a little naughty, yes.
The most iconic street in town is the world-famous Strip, or Las Vegas Boulevard, aka LVB. And LVB Burgers and Bar is right in the middle of the action at the eye-poppingly opulent Mirage Hotel and Casino.
So the Mirage is kind of iconic Vegas. It's what started the Strip.
A natural home for massively decadent burgers.
When I was growing up, my dad would always grill. That was his thing. My sister and I were little. We really didn't like the steak because it was too chewy, so he'd make us hamburgers. I think that's where I've gotten my passion from, not only for cooking burgers, but just cooking in general. Everybody comes out to Vegas, they expect wild, crazy times. This is something that adds to that and gives them a memorable experience.
For a burger that's hotter than a showgirl in August, try the Kick and the Kisser, or the KIK Burger.
There's 3 layers of heat to it, punches you right in the mouth, kind of wakes you up.
We'll need a big, beefy base.
We use a blend of chuck, short rib, and brisket. So nice fresh salt, black pepper, throw it right on the grill.
This is a custom-made Mongolian-style flat top that keeps the patty sizzling in its own juices.
Makes a really nice and flavorful burger. It's 2 inches of stainless steel, 600 degrees. You get a really nice sear on all the burgers. It's that crunchy, crispy outer layer. We want you to taste the meat, not the heat.
Only the spicy heat. Jalapeno pepper jack cheese gets that fire started.
So we're building a casino of heat. We need a solid foundation to really stand up to that. That's why we use a potato bun.
On the first floor, you've got your gaming.
When you come in the front door, everything pops you in the face, so you get that first punch from our sriracha mayonnaise.
He goes all in, spicing up that mayo. Lemon juice adds the bright lights, then he covers the spread. Then the casino calls in a cooler in the form of fresh avocado.
Gives it a rich, creamy texture, and it also cools down a little bit of that heat. We add the burger, the pepper jalapeno jack.
He ups the fun ante with some fried onion straws.
Gives it that crispy crunch, and also gives it some height. We're architects of burgers here, so we like to build everything as big as we can.
Then this delightful variety show, red and green jalapenos pickled in sugar and champagne vinegar.
This is our 3rd level. It's like the penthouses. This is kind of where you want to hang out and have fun.
Finally, symbolizing the sunrise at the end of your all-night burger bash,
Be a fried egg, sunny side up. That's like our jackpot. You just hit the money shot.
we see that money and we raise the roof.
So this is the KIK. It's a perfect burger to give you a kick in the kisser after a night out in Vegas.
Get it, girl. Get it.
Taste that nice high-grade beef, the sriracha aioli at the bottom. That's one of my favorite aiolis I've had.
Yes, it is. It's really hot. But it won't stop me.
Definitely kicking my kisser.
I definitely got the kick.
For less kick and more comfort, take a cruise on their flagship, the LVB Burger.
Very simple, very classic.
Again, it starts with a hefty 3-beef patty, but this time, Bert sweetens the pot with caramelized onions.
Meat and onions, they go perfect together.
From cheese to shining cheese.
Everybody loves American cheese. We all grew up with it. It's something everybody recognizes.
While those get some sauna action, Bert heads for the strip,
Our Boulevard sauce, it's the secret to our LVB burger.
mixing their spiced house mayo with Thousand Island dressing.
It really provides that kind of something you're not sure what it is, but it tastes good, so let's go with it. Good amount of that on the bottom bun.
He cashes in some pickle chips, adds the grilled onions, cheese-smothered meat, and the fresh classic crunch of lettuce and tomato. Over on the side, do me in.
LVB burger, that's not winning. I don't know what is.
The best looking thing I've seen in Vegas. Sorry.
I'll be backup beef. It's fine.
And then it also has sauteed onions, which is like phenomenal on a burger.
Look at that big old hunk of meat.
Yeah, I'm kind
You
of
wanna
jealous
bite?
now. Oh.
You like it?
Oh, yeah.
You've got a beef patty that's the size of Las Vegas.
Beef is a cut above, like 100% perfect burger. You want the LVB? Yeah, you know me.
Whether you're in Vegas for the kisses or the kicks, you'll taste it all at LVB.
It's like a mouth
It's
hug.
a total mouth hug.
Some Japanese dishes are a gentle kiss of flavor, while others are a
Punch in the face.
Living in Las Vegas means being constantly surrounded by temptation, which locals gladly give into about 20 minutes off the strip at Jenga Steak and Sushi.
There's way more to Vegas than just the strip, and this is the perfect example. They kind of make it big, over the top. Their drinks are crazy too.
You gotta come here, like it's a must, and you have to like live the experience. You have to.
Jenga's off-kilter creations come from the team of sushi savant Chef Koo and general manager slash food fanatic Ellen Chong.
We put our heads together and come up with, weird and crazy fun dishes. You walk in and it's like just hidden treasures after hidden treasures, and I feel that's the best part of it. We don't play by the rules. I love traditional Japanese food, but it's Sin City, so we just like to play out of the box.
They haven't even invented a box that can hold Jenga's craziest creation, the sushi burger.
People come from all over the country, all over the world even, just to try our sushi burgers, and they come here like straight from the airport.
This burger experience begins with the bun, which is made of rice.
When people think sushi, they think fish, but it actually means the rice. The rice is the essence of sushi.
And the essence of sushi rice is it's mixed with vinegar.
Sushi vinegar, which is mainly like vinegar with sugar, so it has a lot more flavor than your plain steamed rice.
Sweet vinegar also makes the rice sticky, so it forms the perfect burger bun. Ellen coats it in panko and gives it a second squeeze in the burger press before dropping it in the deep fryer. And while the bun gets crispy, crab meat gets spicy.
It packs some heat. It's the chili oil along with the chili powder. It's nothing too crazy. We want it to be flavorful, not painful. It goes really well with the spicy tuna.
She's talking top-shelf bluefin tuna that Chef Koo expertly dices into bite-sized cubes. Ellen adds the same chili oil and chili powder, but this time brings the added heat of sriracha, plus a Japanese specialty called furikake.
Furikake is seaweed flakes mixed with a little bit of dried fish flakes and dried egg flakes. It adds a lot of crunch and adds the taste of the sea without it overpowering anything.
Ellen also builds a creamy, spicy sauce with mayo, sriracha, and a surprising shot of orange juice. What's up with that?
The orange juice really brings out the flavors of the fish.
Of course. fish burger? Come on down.
We're gonna start with our perfectly fried bun. That's what makes it so special, because this is what holds the burger together.
Ellen layers on the combo of spicy fish, then a cooling Japanese seaweed salad, some sweet sauce for balance, her spicy mayo, and deal me in.
This is the wildest burger in the wildest city.
The first bite was everything at once. It was crispy, spicy. It's almost like you're having a fine dining experience in a burger.
Definitely is a Vegas thing. We tend to get something super simple and make something this like punch in the face.
Just contrast of the hot and the cold, the crunchy, the spicy. Basically, it personifies Vegas in this dish itself. Just amazing.
So take it from the Sin City locals. Lay down a bet at Jenga. You might just wind up ahead of the game.
Here, the house doesn't win. The customer is the one that's always going to win.
A peanut butter and bacon stuffed French toast that Elvis would have loved.
This is Vegas right here, man. It's just taking something simple and just putting it over the top.
After a thrill-packed night of festive food and crazy cocktails on the Vegas Strip, why let the morning sun spoil your fun?
Vegas, it's a different type of city because you're a 24-hour town. Other places where you see breakfast be like a really big central theme on weekends, here it's an everyday thing.
It's like a break from reality where you can just drink bottomless mimosas and have just a great time.
For the real uptown brunch funk, head downtown to MTO Cafe.
If you want to travel like a local, you go here. It stands for made to order. We used to call it my time off, but I've never had any time off since. We really focused on making dishes that you would remember.
The food here, it's ridiculous. It's like if I was a kid and I could open up a restaurant, that's what they're serving here.
Customers just can't help falling in love with MTO's banana and bacon stuffed French toast, the Fat Elvis.
You walk away really satisfied. When you eat that dish, you're not eating for another 5-6 hours, for sure.
This hip-swivelingly sweet dish was designed by Chef Young Lee.
Me and Elvis has a little similarity, I guess. It's that hair.
A batter of eggs, cream, cinnamon, and vanilla is the perfect bath for brioche bread.
The simple is the best. That's why we decided to just do it with these 4 ingredients. Get nice, soaked in.
The flat top brings out those beautiful aromatics.
The cinnamon, the vanilla is coming right up. Like, hit your nose, you know? Kind of tickles a little bit, right? So, you know what? It's actually gonna be great. That's the color we're looking for.
Elvis on a menu is usually code for peanut butter, but Young doubles the fun with chocolatey hazelnut spread.
You have to put the banana with peanut butter. That's Elvis, okay? And you got the bacons and hazelnut spread, makes it fat. We fold them together, and that's what we call it Fat Elvis. Top it out with strawberries. You have to make it pretty, you know?
A little Vegas glitz.
Let it snow more. Let it snow. Fat Elvis. Viva Las Vegas, baby.
It's got that perfect balance between bacon and peanut butter and just sweetness and deliciousness, plus the savory with the bacon. It's just fantastic.
This is Vegas right here, man. It's just taking something simple and just putting it over the top.
The initial hit is sweet, and then you get the savory from the bacon. That contrast is what's really delicious about it.
Thank you. Thank you very much for this.
Stuffed is what MTO does best. And it's what you'll be when you finish wrestling with their Southern fried sandwich champ, chicken in a waffle.
Fried chicken and the waffle and maple syrup doesn't sound right. But you know what? When you put them together, it's delicious.
Boneless breasts get dredged in a spicy breading that includes cayenne pepper and paprika.
I like to have a little bit of kick.
Frying is the direct route to crunchy and juicy.
You can't go wrong frying anything, because I will even fry shoes and eat them. That's how good the frying is, right?
While Belgian waffles get ironed out, we're going up the country.
I'm an Asian guy, but hey, I like my country gravy, man.
Diced applewood bacon browns with chicken sausage and Chef Young's secret seasoning.
I don't want them to see too much, especially the bacon fat that I'm about to add. That brings out a lot of flavor.
The air fills with the enticing aromas of nutmeg, cinnamon, and brown sugar.
A little bit more brown sugar than normal, but it balances really well.
Gravy's about done. Let's get stacked.
Look at it, man. It looks juicy, it's tasty. This is the country gravy, a lot of flavor. Just enough. Chicken and waffle, made to order.
I love the gravy on there. It totally makes the whole package just come together in this awesome goodness of a sandwich.
The gravy is what makes it kind of sweet, but it's kind of savory. The whole thing is amazing.
This totally gets me recharged for a day of partying. Like, no question.
That brunch time party feel is made to order daily at MTO Cafe.
I'm ready for a day of having fun in Sin City.
It's so comforting to know wherever you go in the world, Las Vegas will always leave a light on for you. Or several thousand. A 14-pound mountain of nachos that puts Everest to shame.
Oh my gosh!
Absolutely unbelievable, unreal, and indescribable.
What's next? Guess what? Meat.
A barbecue sandwich wider than the Mississippi.
This sandwich is just monstrous, over the top.
Sauce dripping, perfectly smoked, delicious.
It is sheer ecstasy in my mouth.
These hometown food sensations have caused a chain reaction.
This is the best place for pizza in Pittsburgh.
I want to unhinge my jaw and eat this. I am in breakfast burrito heaven. Oh my God.
Who's your daddy?
We've rounded up the best citywide franchises that are off the chain. Who knew South Carolina was so much like South California? Just across the harbor from Charleston, on Sullivan's Island, it's all about surfing and shrimp tacos.
It's super chill. You can literally smell the salt air. Everybody's so relaxed, so happy to be here.
We're at the main outpost of a local chain that's mastered the art of chill, Mex One Coastal Cantina. Named for the scenic highway that runs from Tijuana down to Cabo.
Drop in, chill out's really kind of what we're all about. The feeling is when you get out of the water and you're hungry, you've been paddling all day and surfing, and you just want good, healthy, fun food.
Your whole beach party can fill up on the biggest, baddest, surf and turfiest nacho platter in the Southeast. The Big Papa.
You're getting the cheese, you're getting the peak, you're getting the smoked chicken, the smoked pork, the bangin' shrimp. It's everything we got thrown on a nacho.
We join culinary director Ryan Jones in progress making the beer batter for the bangin' shrimp.
That's why it's good to be the chef.
Those crunchy, spicy beauties may be Mex One's signature flavor morsel.
Baja Spice is a perfect amount of heat without too much kick.
The beer bubbles make it crunch, and also...
why wouldn't you add beer to it?
They emerge with the perfect tan every time. Truly banging. Ryan's chicken is also a taste force to be reckoned with.
This is our brine chicken, which we end up putting in the smoker. You can smell the citrus, you can smell the bay leaves releasing. We're gonna let it sit overnight, and then it's off to the smoker.
And you know how Carolina feels about barbecue pork. Definitely need some of that.
I'm a cook by day and masseuse by night.
The rub includes brown sugar, cayenne, garlic, and a lot of pepper. How much pepper? That much. But the results will be nothing to sneeze at.
When we smoke it, 13 hours gives it a nice crust on the outside, still keeps the pork nice and juicy in the middle.
Ryan got into cooking the same way most people do. Peer pressure.
In high school, I had some friends that were doing it. They had a fun lifestyle. It's something I got into early on and just was good at when I started doing it.
With our meat smoked out, let's unpack the stacking process.
First, I'm gonna start with a layer of chips. Next, we're gonna add some warm queso. The queso is like the glue on this sucker. Then we're gonna hit it with some black beans. We'll layer a little bit of that chicken and that pork. We try to layer this, put enough on there so every bite is perfect.
Like they say on Price is Right, higher, higher.
A little bit more of that melted gold. And then some guacamole. And when I say some guacamole, I mean 2.5 pounds of guacamole.
There's 4 shrimp on every bangin' shrimp taco, but the Big Papa, he gets 30.
And then we got some bangin' sauce. Finish it with a little bit of sweet heat. And don't forget, squeeze a lime.
Here comes a 14-pound nacho tsunami.
Oh my God. It's like the perfect amount of crispy in the shrimp. It's like a little spicy, but a little sweet.
Chicken is super moist. It's got a smoked flavor. This bird's got attitude.
This burger is so good. It reminds me of being home in North Carolina because we have so much barbecue there.
I'm known as a queso queen, and this queso tops all queso. Very creamy.
Every place I go.
It's so good it should be in pinatas. You don't even need candy in there no more.
They may just be a small chain now, but Mex One knows how to maximize a good thing. The chain that's got a lock on St. Louis barbecue traditions is the Sugar Fire Smokehouse. That namesake smoke just draws you right in.
You don't need a GPS to get to Sugar Fire. You can be blocks away and you can find it right on target because of the great smell and aroma that comes from this place. The cool part is that this is a local chain by a local person who lives here in St. Louis, and that makes it amazing.
She's talking about local hero Mike Johnson, who left 2 decades of high-end chef stuff to get back to basics.
I just love the discipline of barbecue. I love the old school. Rub, meat, smoke. That's pretty much it. Plus, it's a family thing. People come here with their families. Everybody's happy.
Mike may be modest, but his approach to the barbecue arts grabbed everyone by the taste buds and set off a chain reaction. 11 locations, most in St. Louis.
We started out from cooking 5 briskets and 5 pork butts, and now I'm cooking about 9 tons of meat a day, company-wide.
Hefty hunks of that smoked-out protein wind up on Sugar Fire's signature sandwich, the Big Muddy.
The Big Muddy is named after the Mississippi River. It's a little bit sloppy. It's just got a bunch of flavors packed into one big bite.
It begins as so many barbecue stories do, with a man, a brisket, and some rub.
Our rub, I like it to have a little bit of a heat to it. So there's an emphasis on the cayenne. We have chili powder, garlic powder, onion powder. And I'm gonna cover every surface of this before we put it in the smoker.
For Mike, it's not rocket science or any kind of science at all.
People always ask me about this barbecue trend. I tell them, you know, cavemen barbecue. It's really simple. We're not doing some crazy voodoo or something. I'm putting it in this old hickory pit and I'm leaving it alone. People ask me, how long did you cook that brisket for? I'm like, I don't know. I cooked it till it was done.
Mike takes that meat out to the streets, where his rotisserie smoker is hidden inside a colorful shipping container.
This is my smoker. How cool is this? Obviously, we make some good barbecue. Otherwise, St. Louis wouldn't have blocked the street off for us. Need I say more?
After an unspecified time in the smoke, he brings that brisket back home.
Slow and low, that's the tempo. That's what brisket's supposed to look like. Perfect.
Then there's the sausage, made locally according to Mike's strict specifications.
This sausage here is pork, jalapeno cheese. Let's snap it open and see what happens. You see that pop? You can see all the moisture and cheese in there.
Here's where meat meets bread.
I got a locally made bun here in St. Louis. We're gonna take this brisket, kind of get that nice and stacked on there. Then I'm gonna get this sausage on. So you gotta make it sloppy and you gotta make it big.
You've also gotta add the crunch of shredded greens and the sour punch of pickles. Next, it's house-made sweet sauce, followed by creamy yet sinus-tickling horseradish.
The Big Muddy, juices flowing like the mighty Mississippi.
Oh!
Damn! Hey, I'm finna get in this mug, you hear me?
This sandwich is just completely monstrous, over the top, best of the best. So good.
What I love about the brisket is it takes several hours to give it the perfect smoke and keep the meat so tender. Sauce dripping, perfectly smoked, delicious.
The white sauce gives you that perfect flavor of that spice and then that smokiness from the meat. You can't go wrong.
The sausage, it has this pop, and it's juicy, and then the jalapenos, it's so spicy, and it's so good.
If you're watching your carbs, forget the bread and go full caveman with the Meat Daddy.
The Meat Daddy comes with everything, and you don't have to think about it. You just order it and eat.
Mike begins this paleo platter by slicing more of that juicy brisket and offering up a slice of history.
I was really inspired by my mom's cooking growing up, and it was mostly because her food was bad. Hey, Mom, I love you, but you know it's true.
Also true, there's more to this than brisket, like ribs.
But everything gets the same rub here, except for the ribs, it's gonna get a little extra layer of brown sugar on there to bring out more of a bark and a little extra sweetness.
And turkey.
The skin is the whole secret right here. This is just keeping it moist throughout the whole cooking process.
Ribs and turkey hit the smoker along with a pork butt. They exit at different times, but reunite on the mother of all platters.
The meat daddy. Who's your daddy?
You don't need any utensils with it at all. At one point, you may not need any teeth. I don't know.
The ribs are really juicy, and there's brown sugar on top. It's just the epitome of St. Louis on a plate.
The brisket's got a nice smoky flavor, and then the sausage with the jalapeno and cheese gives a nice heat to you, but not too much. All around, I'd say 2 thumbs up.
I can taste the juiciness in the turkey, and it's really good. Like Thanksgiving, but with a barbecue spice to it.
It doesn't get any better than this.
Step aside, Grandma. This meatloaf sandwich is the biggest thing in Boulder.
This is huge. The bun can barely contain it.
The Rocky Mountains may no longer be the most impressive chain in Boulder, Colorado. Locals are climbing over each other for a taste of what's grilling and chilling at the Post Brewing Company.
When you have a small local chain like the Post, everything's made from scratch. They develop their recipes on their own in the back.
It's just really nice place to grab a really great beer, have a meal that's going to be way better than anything you can make at home.
Which is why Chef Brett Smith was able to convert a single win into a citywide four-peat. But it ain't easy.
The challenging thing about being a chain of 4 restaurants is we make everything in each location by hand every day. When you walk in here, we're just rustic fun. We've got incredible beer, incredible food.
And an incredible knack for putting them together.
You can tell them what you want to eat, and they'll pair beer to it, and it's a great combination every time.
Folks in Colorado definitely have really high standards. We're trying to elevate our dishes.
A mile higher than the usual fare is the Post's cast iron meatloaf sandwich.
This is like grandma's meatloaf, but way better, okay? It's delicious.
Meatloaf is the ultimate comfort food. It fits right in with what we're doing. There's just layer upon layer of flavor in that dish.
Chef Brett starts just like Grandma didn't, rendering bacon and then adding onions to that savory fat.
That's gonna add more flavor to our meatloaf. Nothing better than onions cooked in bacon fat. Love that sizzle.
A different heat arrives from Pepperland.
One of Colorado's signature foods is definitely a green chili, so we definitely try to work that in when we can.
Brett's also working in tomato paste and crushed red pepper. Then that flavor-packed potion is added to locally sourced ground beef, along with panko, eggs, and Brett's super secret spicy sweet glaze.
Yeah, this is just some of the tricks we have up our sleeves.
Nothing left for Brett but to roll up his sleeves and to get a little zen on the art of meatloaf making.
Meatloaf's just one of the things we had once a week, you know? It reminds me of just being around my family and passing food around and enjoying ourselves together.
His signature blend makes its way into a pan and then the oven, while Brett returns to his favorite pastime, bacon.
I would say bacon's kind of like garlic to me. You know, you put a little bit of it in anything.
Like marmalade. Here, bacon and onions meet up with brown sugar, red wine, and red wine vinegar.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what we're looking for. Bacon onion marmalade, it's good for you.
Fresh out of the oven, the meatloaf is sliced into a brick-sized portion and cast into an iron skillet.
So we're looking for this to almost have like a slightly blackened look to it, just a nice caramelization on the outside.
Brett deploys more of his secret glaze, then coats a bun with horseradish crema to enhance that meat slab. A mass of bacon marmalade, and we are beyond the comfort zone.
Post Brewing Company cast iron meatloaf sandwich. This is not your grandma's sandwich.
This is huge. The bun can barely contain it. The meatloaf is really yummy. There's a little spice in it from the horseradish, which balances out the sweetness of the onion really nicely.
I would take a bath in the bacon onion marmalade. It's that good.
Right now, taste buds, I don't know what's going on. I just know that it is sheer ecstasy in my mouth. It's going crazy, and I can't contain the flavor that's happening right now. And excuse me 1 second while I indulge. Thank you. Sorry, Grandma, but the chef's figured something out.
Chef Brett's also noodled a new flavor equation for his AP exam in chicken and waffles. Brett's waffles begin normal enough with egg yolks and buttermilk. Then what's that? Chili powder?
It's not necessarily spicy, but just a little extra something going on there.
Flour and butter make it a batter, and then fluffy meringue makes the batter better.
Just makes a nice fluffy waffle with a great texture to it.
The batter hits the iron while chicken hits the fryer. They'll unite on the plate with maple butter, a tangy cherry chili chutney, and a seriously savory chorizo cream gravy. Like we weren't already breathless.
This high altitude delicious.
I want to unhinge my jaw and eat this.
Chicken is very juicy, a little crunchiness on there, which complements the waffles really well. The gravy that comes with it's packed with chorizo, which has a ton of flavor in there.
I don't have words. It's so good. The chutney adds a sweetness to the chicken. It balances out with the gravy. It makes it kind of fruity, but then you put the waffles with it. It's perfect.
Kill me now. That's the best thing I've ever had. That is amazing. Everyone needs to order this.
With 4 locations packing them in nightly, let's hope this chain has a link near you.
Every town in this country should have a place like the Post.
This Seattle Spot's breakfast burrito will totally change your day.
My day just got 20 times better. I think the sun is coming out.
And this handmade Portland donut will have you saying, holy cannoli.
I've never had a donut like this. I just want more.
There's something so wonderfully indulgent about brunch. It's hearty, it's leisurely, and you get to have alcohol before noon.
Cheers!
In Seattle, where brunch time is often gray, it's also a warm taste of sunshine.
I feel elated. My day just got 20 times better. I think the sun is coming out. This is definitely brunch Seattle style because everything is fresh. All the ingredients are organic and local.
Defining Seattle-style succulents at 4 brunch-tastic cafes around town is the family-run Portage Bay.
Biggest pro and the biggest con of working for your parents is that you're working for your parents.
What could possibly be wrong with working for me?
There's nothing wrong with
No. How about working for your father?
There's a different story.
You can tell that they care about what they do, and it shows in the food.
It almost feels like it's like a single restaurant on its own, so it's amazing that it can have all these different locations and provide such good quality no matter where.
Keeping that quality high is head chef Chris Rosenhauer, ready to rap out about the Verde Breakfast Burrito.
The Verde Breakfast Burrito is a one-of-a-kind burrito. It's gonna satisfy you for the rest of the day.
For many, satisfaction means big meat, so Chris breaks down a huge pork butt.
We've got a little mixture here of chicken stock and apple cider vinegar. We're gonna take a little blend of spices. There's some chili flakes. Beyond that, it's a little bit of a family secret.
Chris pours the liquid rub into the pork tub, then the gloves come on, and he gets tender with it.
I have not had a massage that good in years.
Garlic cloves and orange wedges add even more sweet acidity, and a steamy slow cook leads to pork perfection.
When you squeeze it, all of it just falls apart. Tear off a piece of it, and just make sure that all those flavors are there. And they are. That's fantastic.
With his pork shoulder shredded, Chris goes green.
We do our burrito with Verde sauce because it gives that plate an extra pop.
He fills a pot with poblanos, jalapenos, and tomatillos.
These guys are just a little bit sweet, but that's gonna be the meat of the sauce that goes on the top.
Onions and garlic top the pot, along with local lime juice, sea salt, and enough water to let it all cook down for a good long time. Then Chris hits it with fresh cilantro and the green machine.
It's got some heat, but it's still got all the flavor in there. That's absolutely delicious. If you're not awake by brunch, that'll do the trick.
He softens the tortilla and scoops on their 3-bean refrieds, followed by red roasted potatoes.
Next, you're gonna get the 1-2 punch of pork. So the chorizo's gonna give it a little bit more spice. That pulled pork that we just got out of the oven, nice and shredded.
Sour cream to cool down the heat, then tuck and roll.
You're gonna take that Verde sauce and you're just gonna absolutely smother the entire thing.
Top with cheese, green onion, and
the piece de resistance. That's gonna be the first thing you see coming at you. It's gonna be looking right back at you.
Like an eye on the prize.
This is the Verde Breakfast Burrito at Portage Bay, bringing the sunny side to Seattle.
That's not even fair. Are you kidding?
People go to museums to look at things like this.
Oh, that runny yolk.
So
Oh.
the pork shoulder is like really, really rich. The chorizo is really spicy.
This pork shoulder is just unreal.
It's like fancy, beautiful brunch bacon.
This pork shoulder has this wonderful smoky aftertaste that just complements this salsa verde that has this like kind of citrusy take on it.
I am in breakfast burrito heaven.
Donuts are no longer a break room afterthought. They're having a moment. And in Portland, Maine, there's only one mini chain that will give you a truly transcendent surge of sugar. The Holy Donut.
I remember my first Holy Donut, and I haven't turned back since. I won't have any other donut.
It is the hidden gem of the Portland area. You don't know it, and then once you know it, you can't not go.
The creator of these crunchy and creamy cake holes is Lee Kellis.
I had a really heavy craving for donuts about 7 years ago and couldn't satisfy it with the donuts that I found, so I decided to start making them.
She broke out the basics, then Lee went local.
Somebody suggested we try using Maine's #1 crop in the donut, which is the potato. Turns out it worked really well, and it makes a much more delicious donut.
The tater-based treats took off faster than Lee could handle on her own.
My donut angel is my dad. He jumped in to help me as a volunteer for many years.
Dad's favorite donut was a Downeaster take on an Italian original, the triple berry cannoli. Their super soft dough is made from a flour-potato combo.
We make all of our dough from scratch every day, thousands of pounds.
Lee rolls it out and cuts her discs.
When you've been doing it for a while, you kind of go with just a feeling.
When do you add the holes?
So these donuts do not have a hole. It's got a little trench. We're gonna fill that with our delicious ricotta filling. It's nice and not too sweet. It rounds out that triple berry glaze.
Cloud-like ricotta is blended with tangy cream cheese.
We're gonna add a splash of lemon juice. And we're gonna add that pure vanilla, the real thing.
Sugar turns the sweetness up just enough
to make sure it is perfect. So good.
Really making it special is a fresh taste of Maine.
We are going to puree some raspberries, strawberries, and blueberries along with a little bit of sugar and some fresh lemon juice. The lemon juice adds a little bit of brightness and preserves the beautiful color. Delicious.
Color that's enhanced in the fryer.
We're gonna take these golden brown delicious donuts, cover them in our triple berry glaze. You want a ton of flavor. We'll now add the ricotta filling. This has got that nice tart ricotta flavor.
Leave the guns, take the donuts.
What donut dreams are made of, the Holy Cannoli.
Oh my gosh, the berry, so good. Delicious.
Man, I'm confused but impressed. This is really good. I've never had a donut like this. I just want more.
Oh my God. Nice cheesy flavor with the sweet of the frosting. Unbelievable.
And the outside has that nice fried crispiness to it. And it's just enough to give you that sweet taste.
And the fresh berry is amazing. That is the Holy Cannoli.
It's got wings. Oh.
Tubers really get tubular in Holy Donut's game-changing ginger sweet potato glazed.
It's spicy, it's a little sweet, it is so good. It's probably my favorite in this whole shop.
Lee rolls out a dough that's been primed with roasted sweet potatoes.
And it makes for such a nice, incredibly unusual, delicious flavor. You notice this donut has no hole.
I did, but I wasn't gonna mention it.
We put the hole in it as we fry it. Fresh out of the fryer, time to glaze these little babies.
The glaze is simplicity itself. A bit of fresh ginger, hot water, and sugar is all you need.
Some of our donuts we glaze while they're still really hot, so we get a nice glossy, shiny, translucent glaze. Holy Donut perfection.
Get thee to a dunkery.
The sweet potato ginger glazed donuts.
It's just the perfect amount of glaze. I get a lot of that spice in that one bite. Savor every flavor.
Now you know where to pull off in Portland for a sweet taste of the divine. The Holy Donut.
This is why you come off of the exit off of 95. This is why.
A meatball sub and burger hybrid in SoCal where the cheese steals the show.
It's absolutely perfect.
I'm balling. I'm meatballing.
Unchaining eaters from Burger Boredom in Northridge, California. There's a family-run restaurant putting fresh and fun on a bun.
One of the best I've ever tasted.
They're completely unexpected.
But it's super good.
They're talking about SoCal's tastiest mini franchise, The Stand. And it's a family affair with the Wishengrad Fellows setting the table.
My inspiration in life was my grandfather. We'd go to great burger stands throughout LA. I kept thinking back to those childhood memories, and frankly, he was my inspiration.
All that passion is on display in their Italian sub-inspired Mama Meatball Burger.
A meatball burger, it's familiar, yet it's totally original and unique.
Chef David Selman knows what you want and brings you both of them.
We're taking two classics, a meatball sub, burger, combining them into one great thing.
It begins with a meeting of the meats.
We get our meat ground and delivered fresh every day. We have ground beef, ground pork.
A little egg helps hold it all together, while Parmesan cheese and parsley keep things real.
This is definitely how Mama would make her meatballs.
Then it's onion and garlic for some Italian flavor.
A little chili flake. Mama likes her meatballs spicy. We're gonna mix everything so you get every flavor in every bite.
And this thing's all killer, no filler.
By not adding breadcrumb to it and doing it in the form of a patty, it stays juicy.
David corrals that meatball into a burger that's got a nice ring to it.
Just make sure it touches all the edges so we get a nice even patty and it cooks perfectly. It's got the cheese in there that starts to melt out. It forms a really nice crust.
Meat mastered, David lays down some truth.
You can't have a Mama meatball without cheese on it.
And not just a standard square, hand-sliced provolone with an egg and breadcrumb crust, fried golden brown. Not missing a flavor trick, the bun is slathered in butter and Parmesan before hitting the grill.
Smell the cheese, you can smell the meatball cooking. You're starting to get this nice parm crust you can see around the side.
Smells like love.
Our burger patties just finishing up cooking. The fried provolone, Mama's secret red sauce, a generous coating of basil. You want to be able to get that in every bite.
Classic Italian taste. It's in the burger, baby.
And that's the Mama meatball, only at the Stand.
I love burgers. I love meatball subs. I'm balling. I'm meatballing.
You get the meatball sub, you get like the Italian flavor. It was like, I'm about to have an Italian meal. That was so good.
I've never had a meatball done just like this until I came to the Stand. That provolone, oh, I need to have another bite.
The cheese melts in your mouth, blends well with the seasoning.
Wow, this basil adds to the Italian flavor. It's absolutely perfect.
The next stamp in our burger passport is the Stand's French onion soup burger. David moves from the flat top to the char griller for this number.
We char grill all of our beef burgers. We like the flavor that it gives it. We like that crisscross quadrillage pattern.
It's like we're already in Paris.
I'm spreading a Parm and Gruyere spread on here.
Those classic onion soup flavors get the Royale treatment.
We're gonna finish that on the flat top to get it nice and crispy.
Awesome burger if it ends there. But what's going on in the pot?
Pot, we have our French onion soup au jus. We serve that on the side. It's kind of like a deconstructed bowl of French onion soup.
Still not rich enough for you? How about some melty cheese? Well, let's erect this Eiffel Tower.
Patty and cheese on the crispy bun. We're gonna top that with the caramelized onions.
And for even more oniony fun,
crispy fried onions.
Top that with a cheesy bun and partnered with the au jus, it's almost like
soup on a bun.
It's the French onion soup burger.
Let's see how this goes.
I think that dip puts it over the top. It tastes like French onion soup, but it's a burger.
The au jus sauce with the cheese and the grilled onions, that's good stuff.
Oh, this bun is just so good. The cheese, the juiciness, you get both flavors of onions, it's so great.
I would definitely call this a super burger.
Viva la France!
Take a stand against bland, mass-produced meals at the Stand.
The place is off the chain. Dude, I'm totally coming back here like all the time.
A pasta dish in Chicago so spicy, it's covered in angry sauce.
Wow, it packs a punch.
Mamma mia.
What's the most beloved old-school Italian chain in Chicago? The name is on everyone's lips. Rosebud. Owner Alex Dana, a.k.a. The Boss, breaks it down.
40 years ago, they needed an Italian restaurant to bring the spirit back to Little Italy. I was the first one to get there and start pushing it to that level.
One Rosebud turned into 8, including their Magnificent Mile mainstay, Rosebud on Rush.
Whenever I think of an Italian restaurant in Chicago, I always think of Rosebud.
It truly is an iconic brand in the city of Chicago.
The Rosebud brand was built on delicious dishes developed by Mr. Dana with a little direction from his parents.
My mother worked in a restaurant, my father. They never made any money. But what they did is they looked in the dining room, and if somebody went like this to my mother like this, oh, they liked the food. That's all it took.
That satisfied smile has been inspired countless times by Rosebud's meat and cheese stuffed signature lasagna.
Ooh! Greatest traditional dish in America for the last 100 years. Lasagna is the heartiest dish in all the pasta family.
You could make an all-cheese, but the Dons would be displeased.
Traditionally done with a great meat sauce, a combination of veal and beef.
This classic red sauce starts with sauteed onions, garlic, and red pepper.
What's next? Guess what? Meat. Veal first. Listen to that sizzle. That's fresh ground veal, nice and lean. It has a flavor that is unbelievable. Now we're gonna do our beef.
Veal and beef brown, and chef makes sure this sauce packs the punch of passion, which tastes like tons of bonus garlic.
Passion is what this is about.
San Marzano tomatoes add tanginess and body, and tomato paste lends a sweet depth.
Now you have a beautiful tomato sauce. Oh, I'm hungry.
Meat gets top billing, but cheese does most of the heavy lifting.
Everybody loves the binder, the cheese that pulls it together.
The curds that bind are whole milk ricotta and mozzarella.
The mozzarella melts into the ricotta and pulls it together, and it gives it a creamier flavor.
Pecorino Romano gives it a little edge, followed by fresh herbs and eggs straight from the farm.
Fresh eggs is gonna make this mix of cheeses blend together with so much flavor.
The Boss builds this beauty from the meat sauce on up.
We need our mixed cheese. This is gonna be one hell of a tower, I'll tell you that.
Structural support comes from semolina pasta, providing a foundation for our fillings.
Here we go with a little fresh tomato basil, and let it drip down and make all the flavor come together. A little grated cheese. Here we go, right to Mama's oven.
Midway through, the lasagna gets a mozzarella melt.
Look at that now, come on. A Rosebud signature lasagna. You know how good it is? Forget about it.
That is like Italian heaven on a plate.
It's that first bite that gets me every time. The lasagna here is absolutely amazing. It reminds me exactly of what my grandma used to make.
It weighs about 27 pounds. It's delicious. Yeah.
It does.
But it is a masterpiece.
Rosebud rocks pasta in all its many forms, from simple spaghetti to the robust 8-finger cavatelli arrabbiata.
It's a fresh made pasta every day. When you make this pasta, you roll them out with the 4 fingers on each side, so you get an 8-finger.
Arrabbiata is a sauce with a temper.
Arrabbiata, which is angry sauce. People that laugh, they'll still eat arrabbiata. They'll eat it and laugh, because it's spicy, hot, that makes you laugh.
The fat from pancetta and prosciutto moderates the wonderfully contentious flavors of garlic, jalapenos, and hot peppers.
This is what makes it arrabbiata. The hotter, the spicier, the more flavor, but these peppers bring it to that level, the heat. Get a little angry in here.
A double dose of tomatoes, crushed and paste, and the voice of reason.
Paste will make it creamier, richer, and it brings all the tomatoes together. You can see this cooking right now as it's making a sauce. When you deglaze a pan like this, it just adds to the flavor.
The sweet aroma of basil rising is followed by handfuls of our 8 fingers, then another tantrum.
Here comes the real kicker to make you really mad and really angry. A little red pepper seed. Now that's mad. That's extra mad. Tell me that don't look good. Come on. 8-finger arrabbiata. This is what we call that's a nice.
It's very smooth and very spicy at the same time. Wow, it packs a punch.
The true arrabbiata. You could taste the anger in it, just like my mom and grandmother would make.
So the prosciutto really adds that extra layer of flavor that you're looking for. The smoky saltiness to it. It's really good.
Pasta, it's nice and joey, homemade. Can't go wrong with it. My happy dance when I eat this pasta.
Pittsburgh's favorite pizza chain will definitely cover the spread of meat.
Now, carnivores are happy.
Calling all pizza fans. We're headed for Pittsburgh. The Steel City's got a solid Italian heritage, and one family's recipes are the main link connecting a tiny chain of pizzerias to the original Slice on Broadway.
This is the best place for pizza in Pittsburgh.
When you get off the T, it smells like pizza. It's definitely that Pittsburgh feel where, yeah, it's an old house and they turned it into a restaurant.
We're upstairs in the bedroom having dinner. You can't do that in every restaurant.
That crafty conversion was the brainchild of owner Rico Lenardi, who also turned his family operation into a mini chain with 4 locations, including one at PNC Park, home of the Pittsburgh Pirates. It's his life.
I was born and raised making pizza, came out of the hospital flipping a pie.
This pizza prodigy's recipe for success is pretty simple.
We stick to pizza salads and hoagies, stick true to what we know, use good ingredients, and put our heart into it.
The pizza closest to his heart is a meaty monster with serious family ties, the Santino.
The Santino, that's named after my 3-year-old son. First bite, it's like taking you back to a Sunday meal, pizza style. We're Italian, we like to do it and do it right.
It's the closest thing to New York pizza you're gonna get.
While customers are eating in the bedroom, Rico's warming up in the kitchen. Play ball.
To make our homemade meatballs, we have our ground beef, which is an 80-20 mix, ground pork and ground veal.
That 3-meat combo meets up with grated Romano, a grip of fresh garlic, eggs, and Italian parsley.
The recipe was from my grandmother. My dad and her used to make them together, and it did get passed on from generation to generation. They're very packed with flavor. It will swing you right back to your grandma's house on a Sunday afternoon.
Here's another secret from Grandma. Rico grabs a bowl of salad croutons, soaks them in milk, and mashes them into a paste.
If you have a nice balance between meat and bread, it creates a softer meatball.
It's just one of the tiny details that makes Slice on Broadway special.
Anything that you can make homemade brings another level to the experience.
A little olive oil and those meatballs are ready for the oven, and the dough is ready for stretching.
If you're adventurous, you can toss it. I was never good at sports, so we'll just keep it down low for us.
Rico sauces the dough with house-made marinara, then it's a blend of mozzarella and provolone, sliced pepperoni, and a surge of spicy sausage.
We grind it up. That way, you get a little taste of sausage in every bite.
Ding! Meatballs are ready! After they cool, Rico crumbles them by hand and showers them coast to coast. The last stroke, dollops of creamy ricotta.
It cooks, it's gonna kind of meld into all the meatballs and keep everything together.
A quick 7 minutes in the oven, and that pie is cut into an 8-slice wonder of the world.
And there it is, the Santino, a true slice of life.
Jeez, got 2 hands.
The best part of the Santino is the homemade meatballs, for sure. It's nice, rich flavor on there.
I come from an Italian family. It tastes like how my family would make meatballs.
Great sausage. You taste a little bit of fennel. It's not super spicy, but it's got great flavor.
Now, carnivores are happy. The carnivores are happy.
They're gonna be ecstatic when they sink their teeth into Rico's cheesesteak pizza.
It's a beautiful cross between a cheesesteak hoagie and a pizza. Since we're so close to Philly, we thought we'd give one to them.
No marinara for this Philly phenom, just a simple dusting of garlic and herbs and drizzles of olive oil.
Every Italian loves olive oil. I think I was baptized in it. It helps explode the flavors of the garlic, creates a little sauce as it's cooking in the oven.
That house blend of mozz and provolone is a solid foundation for Rico's oven-roasted sirloin. And what's a cheesesteak without ample mushrooms and onions? He slices them paper thin.
Our nice sliced red onions. When they bake in the oven, they'll still release that nice sweet flavor, but get a little crispy as well.
Enter the colors of Italy. Fresh, chopped green peppers combined with marinated roasted red peppers. The pie spends 7 minutes in heaven, where it's kissed by the pizza gods.
Pittsburgh style.
Definitely the best of both worlds. The cheesesteak on the pizza is really unique. It's just really delicious.
The red peppers, they are so sweet and delicious. I just love how fresh it makes it taste.
The steak is great on here, and you definitely get the garlic taste, which is fantastic.
It's like Philly and Pittsburgh. It's a little beefiness, a little cheesiness.
Tastes like Pennsylvania.
And in Pittsburgh, that taste has turned one local guy's pizza palace into the little chain that could.
Slice on Broadway.
The mightiest oak starts with an acorn, and these local gems may just become tomorrow's national treasures.
Sweet Home Chicago!
Dive headfirst into the finest foods of the friendly confines of Wrigley Field.
That is awesome. This is a home run you don't have to throw back.
Dig into the meatiest,
bang,
most delicious deep dish on the South Side.
The meat lover's dream pizza.
This just tastes like the South Side.
We're going whole hog as we blow through the Windy City.
We're a steak town, we're a burger town, we're everything kind of town. Check that out, baby.
Ultimate comfort food. I can eat a dangerous amount of that if unsupervised.
Welcome to the meat and potatoes food paradise we like to call Sweet Home Chicago. Woo. Since 1914, the north side of Chicago has been home to a true temple of baseball.
Let's go, go!
And the foods that make it fun to watch. Wrigley Field.
Sweet Home Chicago!
I think the food here at Wrigley is so special in the sense that it's always challenging itself. What? Well, that's Chicago in a sense anyways. It's food and entertainment. It just seems like they kind of go hand in hand here in the city.
Every time you go to a baseball stadium, obviously you have to have a hot dog, but there's nothing more distinct than a Chicago hot dog.
We couldn't have said it better ourselves. The ace in Wrigley's kitchen is executive chef David Burns, who's got the play-by-play on their classic Chicago dog. Chef David has hot dogs in his DNA.
My uncle actually has a hot dog stand where we grew up on the southwest side of Chicago named Junior's. That's where I had the first Chicago hot dog. I just love it. It's delicious.
Every single component of the Chicago dog brings something to the table.
The first thing you want to do to make a Chicago hot dog is have some poppy seed buns that are steamed. Next to the buns we have is Vienna all-beef hot dogs. These are steamed, so that's traditional on a Chicago hot dog. But here at Wrigley, we're going to grill these things up.
Once that dog has some ballpark char on it, it slides into home with a layer of yellow mustard.
No ketchup. You cannot have ketchup on a hot dog, especially a Chicago hot dog. We're gonna take the dill pickle. I like to put that on one side of the hot dog. Some fresh tomatoes gives that nice summer taste.
Fresh white onions complete the summer veggie spree. Another distinct Chicago dog calling card is the neon green relish.
I did a little research on it, and it seemed like the guy that was making it at the factory actually put a little too much dye on it, and it stuck. It's a mistake that worked. Then we're gonna top it off with 4 peppers. I like to have 3, and then we're gonna finish it off with a little celery salt. We got a world-class hot dog at a world-class ballpark.
Let's call in our all-star right-hander and see if this dog has the heat.
This is a home run you don't have to throw back. Chef, you nailed it.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness.
This is a field of dreams on a poppy seed bun wrapped in galactic space alien relish. It's amazing.
It's the best damn hot dog I ever did have.
The tomato and the pickle with the relish and the celery salt, it's 100% like eating a Bloody Mary. It's amazing.
Peppers and the pickle. That's what's unique about a Chicago hot dog. You don't get that anywhere else.
That was spicier than I anticipated. It's really good.
Chicago dogs are amazing. They've got everything that you would want on a dog. It's almost like its own kind of food pyramid.
The truth is, some people think of it just as a hot dog. It's not. A Chicago dog at Wrigley Field, that's a life experience.
The food crew at Wrigley is always looking for that next big thing. And the rookie of this year is the Chicago sandwich.
We go into our little lab, our kitchen, and we start creating ideas together as a team. We go crazy. It's a fun part. We took those components of a Chicago hot dog and actually came up with a sandwich with those components but using chicken.
The chicken brines overnight in pickle juice.
It has the acid in there that helps tenderize the meat, but also the pickles that represent that pickle flavor on the Chicago hot dog.
Chef Burns throws a 2-seam flour fastball.
It's half all-purpose flour and half rice flour. I like to use the rice flour to help get that light texture crunch. And then I take some of the mustard powder, a couple teaspoons. That's gonna give us that mustard flavor that you would have in a Chicago hot dog.
Those birds hit the hot tub, followed by the chef's deep-fried riff on sport peppers. There's poppy seeds in the tempura batter for a Chicago dog double play.
The onion bun represents the white onions that you put on a Chicago dog.
He loads it up with chicken, fresh tomatoes, and the fried peppers.
This is a dill aioli. This represents the neon relish, in a sense, for flavor. It's a little bit of sweet, got a little bit of dill. Just like a Chicago dog, we finish with the celery salt, kind of brings everything together. The Chicago sandwich, the best new creation at Wrigley Field.
That is awesome. Chicken is very tender, really good crunch, and the tomatoes provide a nice balance with this dill sauce.
Very crisp chicken. The aioli is great. The seasoning is perfect. The tomatoes great. The fried pepper is a game changer on this sandwich. Bar none. Awesome.
I'm very impressed with the saturation of dill in the aioli, and mostly because everybody knows nobody can do everything bagels like New York, but this roll is pretty close. It's changing my life. What's more American than deep frying everything?
Not a baseball stadium.
Literally the epitome of America right now.
Whether you root for the Cubs or not, no tour of the Windy City is complete without a bite at this ballpark.
I haven't had this much fun at Wrigley since we won the World Series.
Let's head to the south side of town and the village of Alsep and dive into what Chicago does best, deep dish pizza.
Deep dish is a Chicago staple. It's the only place where you can get a good one at.
The gooey, ooey cheese, when it comes out, it just lingers all over your face.
There's plenty of pizzerias in Chicago, but since the 40s, the place to get that true south side stringiness is Nino's Pizza.
To get real Chicago, like the best of the best Chicago, you have to come to Nino's.
The original was opened on Michigan Avenue by Nino Favero, but his family and his empire expanded to just south of the city limits.
We are the third generation.
We opened up this one in 1982. Grandpa's advice, never give up, always keep going. If there's a problem, figure it out.
Well, I've been coming here since I was 5. I'm 39. It's the best pizza. We love it. Now we bring our kids here.
Any Southsider will tell you that it's not a proper deep dish without the meat, which is why the most popular pizza at Nino's is the sausage deep dish.
When you come to Chicago, you don't want no green stuff on your pizza. You want that nice meat, that tender meat on your pizza.
Nick's meat of choice is house ground pork and fennel sausage.
There's no sausage in the world like my sausage. That's what they all say.
The bed for that sausage is a deep dish dough that gets hand-pressed into a seasoned pan.
With deep dish dough, we don't send it through the dough roller machine. When you send it through the machine, it instantly kills the yeast. We're gonna make sure that all of our walls are pressed up tightly up against it. You don't want the wall falling down, then it'll just ruin the whole pizza.
Deep dish rules dictate cheese on the bottom.
Then we're gonna grab some mozzarella cheese, freshly grated. Yeah, you fill it up. We're not chintzy. Then we're gonna hit it with some oregano. Bang! Then we're gonna get to the famous fresh sausage. It's gonna give you a little bit grease on there, get a nice salty flavor, peppery.
Next comes the special family sauce made from crushed tomatoes, sugar, garlic, pepper, and parsley. Hey, isn't that green?
I did lie. The only green stuff we do put in is parsley flakes.
Nick's approach to sauce is hands-on.
There's thick chunks of tomatoes in here. I mean, you could see how chunky it is. You don't want to put it on, you want to splatch it on. Little pieces here and there. I'm like the Jackson Pollock of pizza.
A sprinkle of Parmesan, and our pizza takes a spin in the rotating oven.
This oven's 65 years old right here. It's just starting to get broken in though. Here we go, our monster's fresh up out of the oven. Now we're gonna dice it up and chow down. You need a big knife like this to cut a deep dish pizza, because the deep dish will eat a little pizza cutter alive. You can hear the crunch, that's that oil. Deep dish pizza, Chicago style.
It's mouth-wateringly delicious. It's almost like eating a lasagna, but it's pizza.
The sauce is by far the best. And then you got the cheese, which is just melts in your mouth good.
Sweet sauce. The sausage is perfectly cooked, loaded with cheese.
But I think that the big chunks of sausage and that amount of flavor at once, it's just, oh my God, it's so good.
There's definitely more sausage, which I enjoy. I'm a sausage man.
A true Southsider knows thin equals the biggest flavor win. That's why Nino's slices up the Southside Special.
Most people do think of deep dish. However, if you're a regular and you're a native of Chicago, you know you're getting thin crust.
This stacked thin crust is stretched to perfection.
This is gonna be like a cracker that you're eating it off of. Nice.
No chunky sauce here, only silky smooth tomato.
You wanna get all the way out to your edges, leave it about a 1/4 inch, and you come over here to your Parmesan cheese. Every piece has gotta taste the same.
The Pork Brothers ham and sausage start off the topping parade.
The ham has just a little bit of sweetness to it, and then the sausage has that little bit of greasy flavor to it.
Followed by mushroom and peppers. Excuse me, but my color detector is flashing green.
This is a classic vegetable. It's not like kale or spinach.
Fair enough. Mozzarella brings the gooiness, and pepperoni packs extra meat power as it slides into the oven.
Here we go. We got the Southside pizza. Smell that pepperoni, the sausage, the cheese.
What's the angle on those slices?
We ain't pie cutting it, that's for sure. And we're gonna square cut it. Hear every crunch. That's what you want. It's a Southside.
Me personally, it's all thin crust. You get the little bit of like char at the bottom of it. It's got that nice bite to it.
You know, the sauce is super sweet, and then all the fresh ingredients, it's fantastic.
You got the sweet, like soft, still kind of a crunch of the green pepper.
I could never eat a pizza without sausage on it.
It's a meat lover's dream pizza.
This just tastes like the South Side.
The South Side is the home of pizza satisfaction at Nino's Pizza.
Oh yeah, that's the good stuff.
When you're toddling around Chicago's Logan Square neighborhood, you'll find everyone's home sweet home is the Radler.
We've lost so many other places in Chicago where you could get handcrafted dogs, and you can get it here with great beer.
Look at the size of that!
Size and history matters a lot to owner Adam Hebert, whose own history inspired the place.
The name Radler means bicyclist in German. My great-great-grandfather came over from Germany in the late 1800s, and he made different bicycle parts, and he was good friends growing up with a guy named Ina Schwinn, which might ring a bell as Schwinn Bicycles.
Schwinn came to visit and loved Chicago so much he stayed to open a factory. And that family history cycles through the restaurant, from the decor to the food. Like this retooled classic, the bacon and cheddar brat.
Our goal was to take what has made German food, but have more fun, dynamic toppings that kind of meet what's local and keep it tasty.
Now, what's the big deal with beer cheese?
Beer cheese, as you know, has beer in it, and it is also cheese. You can't really improve on it.
Chef Sean is gonna try anyway, starting with a German-style beer called a Helles.
It's a light lager, very drinkable, crushable, as we like to call it.
He manages to get some beer in the pot along with heavy cream and a trio of cheeses, American, cheddar, and pepper jack.
We really want it to be sort of a tight consistency so that when it's warm, it still doesn't like run all over the bun.
The rule of threes also applies to Sean's spices.
We've got some porcini mushroom powder, black pepper, and some mustard seed, which kind of gives it a little oomph.
A ride in the blender gives it smoothness. And we are 2/3 of the way home.
Here's my beer, here's my cheese. All I need is a brat.
A bacon cheddar brat is made fresh in-house and grilled over an open flame.
We really want to make sure we get that nice crust on the outside. We grill all 4 sides of the sausage. You got to find a way to balance that curvy side on the grill because they all got to get grilled.
The 4-sided sausage settles into a fresh bun, and here comes its bride.
We're just gonna kind of drizzle that guy on. I always say you can never have enough cheese.
Pickled onions and crumbled bacon make this sausage scary good.
Don't fear the worst.
Most of the time I would say there's never enough cheese.
It's beer cheese.
Boom, you nailed it.
But I think this is the perfect amount. And bacon, who doesn't love bacon?
It has this wonderful texture to it that is the perfect Chicago food. And the pickled onions really brings that balance to the sausage so you can eat bite after bite after bite, and it is good every time.
This is what a brat should be.
Then there's the most important meal of the end of the day, the Radler's breakfast for dinner.
We had breakfast sausage we were making for breakfast. By the end of brunch, we kind of just ended up in a position where, dude, why can't you have breakfast sausage all day, every day? So, breakfast for dinner.
Featuring Adam's signature breakfast mayo.
Regular mayo is boring, so we had to kind of bump it up. We make ours with bacon.
And other breakfast table staples like brown sugar and OJ.
We do the orange juice because it brings this nice little like good morning kind of sweetness. It's all about layering textures, flavors, and aromas. And that smooth texture really rounds out the whole bite.
Maple syrup's another shot of sunrise mixed directly into the sausage, which promises to wake the whole house.
You can smell it smoking and charring and all that sugar getting right. It's time to rock and roll.
Did he say roll? There it is. And there's that mayo.
Nice and thick and chunky. Now that we have our main meaty components, it's time to add some shoestring potatoes here. We're gonna add a little color and a little aroma with some fresh dill and parsley.
The perfect meal for the crack of dusk.
And for those who can't get out of bed before 3, breakfast for dinner.
You've got a well-balanced breakfast for dinner here. You've got the salty potatoes, you got the sweet, it's great.
It's surprisingly herbal, the actual sausage in there. You can't go wrong with mayo. It's basically the eggs that you normally get for breakfast, but in a way that actually goes with a sausage.
The reason it's good to drink beer with is because everything is good to drink beer with.
Morning, noon, and night at the Radler, where you're always home, even when you're out.
And it's to go. To go? All right.
The most memorable and delectable food traditions are almost always built on family traditions. And in Chicago, food plus family means Manny's.
Truly a Chicago wonder.
We've been in this location since 1965, but we've been in business since 1942.
This thriving old-school Jewish deli has been in the Raskin family for generations.
When my family started Manny's, there were hundreds of cafeteria delis. Today, we're actually the last one. We are an eternal flame here.
It's a throwback to the classic in a very modern and timeless way.
Everybody likes Manny's.
A true American melting pot. Manny's has served athletes, comedians, even presidents. All walks of life join the line to fill their trays with great food.
I like the cafeteria style because I can see everything.
It is too much to choose from. So much meat, but you can get it all.
Get it all on one sandwich with Manny's 4 Kinder.
Kinder means children in Yiddish. We call it the 4 Kinder because we use 4 of our most popular meats, so they're like our 4 children.
Their first child's name is corned beef.
The traditional way to do Jewish corned beef is to use brisket. This was a recipe that was really started by my great-grandfather.
The brisket gets brined for 3 days in brown sugar, garlic, and salt.
Have to use curing salt. That's how you make corned beef. That's the main difference between regular brisket and corned beef.
The brother of the brisket is the beef navel.
It comes off the plate, which is the other side of the brisket, so it's got a much richer flavor, and it really helps bring out the flavor of the pastrami.
To turn the beef navel into beef pastrami, Dan rubs it with a mix of tangy mustard, brown sugar, and black pepper.
Now we've given our pastrami a great rub down, we're gonna get started on our brisket.
For roasting, Dan uses a leaner cut of brisket than he did for the corning.
This is my favorite knife. It was given to me when I first started, and I've been sharpening it for 2 weeks just for the show.
Some rough chopped veggies bring this kid to the kindergarten.
We have celery, carrots, and onions, and that's basically a mirepoix base. Hacks the flavor, but is not overcomplicated.
Dan adds a spice blend inherited from his grandparents, then water, carefully so as to not wash off those spices.
Now we're ready to cook our meats. We have our brine corned beef that's ready to be boiled. We have our brisket that's ready to be roasted. And we have our beef navel pastrami that's ready to be put in the oven.
Beef triplets, all good looking and getting some good long cooking. One by one, they come out fork tender for the four-kinder.
Yeah, these came out perfect. Now we're ready to slice them up and put them on our sandwich.
He hand cuts the roasted brisket, then he loads the other babies onto the slicer.
Look, Mom, no hands. When we're slicing corned beef, we want it paper thin, juicy, and melts in your mouth. There you go. Now it's time for the pastrami.
But wait, that's a three-kinder. One child got left behind.
To complete the four-kinder, we're gonna add our turkey pastrami. We don't make it in-house because of smoke, so we don't want to get the restaurant all smoky.
He gathers all the kids to tuck them into bread.
We're gonna start with our rye bread, then we're gonna take our corned beef, our roasted brisket, pastrami, top it off with our turkey pastrami straight from the smokehouse.
Slices of heaven, reaching almost as high.
We're gonna throw in some pickles with it and our delicious potato pancakes.
The four-kinder from Manny's Deli.
It's Chicago's best sandwich.
About to be a happy man.
There's so much here I can barely pick it up.
Watch the way I work it.
My plan of attack is to just go right in.
The sandwich is masterful. You really don't have to add anything to it.
It's so many wonderful flavors, I don't know who's who.
You got the brisket, just sweet. That pastrami has that smoky, strong flavor in there. Really makes the sandwich stand out.
50+ years is the same melt in your mouth juicy sandwich.
Everybody's making memories at Manny's with their delicious additions to Chicago family traditions. Chicago is synonymous with so many great foods, but even the stuff they aren't known for would still be another city's most famous dish, like burgers.
Of course it's a burger town. I mean, we're a steak town, we're a burger town, we're everything kind of town. We're meat and potatoes all day long.
In the Gold Coast neighborhood, downstairs at Maple and Ash, 8 Bar brings unexpected elegance to the usual burger grind.
I think most people end up overthinking the burger. For us, we keep it simple. Awesome meat, cheese, and a bun that rocks.
Imagine if your favorite fast food burger got freshened up and totally chefed out. That's the Mac Daddy magic behind the downstairs burger.
That first bite is gonna make you wondering how good your second bite's gonna be.
The Big Burger secret is this weapons-grade flavor agent called beef butter.
The beauty of the beef butter is that it's more or less a stock and a pan sauce emulsified into butter. We have a little bit of thyme, garlic, red wine, and reduced beef stock.
Ah, that is some beefy, buttery, wine-infused goodness right there.
And I'd err on the side of being a little bit too generous. And that caramelizing and browning is something that we're looking for. Then we go right into the patties.
Those are made with quality dry-aged beef extras they get from the steakhouse upstairs. Danny does onions 2 ways.
One is gonna go on the burger raw, and it gets flipped and it caramelizes, and then we'll put some fresh raw ones on the burger to finish.
Smelling good.
It's a little dry-aged meat facial over here.
Both sides of a seeded milk roll get browned, and pure Wisconsin cheddar melts on top of more beef butter. Better start getting dressed.
So a little bit of the Dijon aioli, now a little bit of the raw onion, and some thinly shaved pickles.
Paired with some garlic parm fries, and Chicago wins again.
Here's to a new classic, the downstairs burger.
The burger and the pickles and the special sauce and the onions are so thin. It's so good. It is so good.
Best burger in Chicago. You need this.
Oh, no, you gotta go double-fisted. The beef stands out. It's just flawless. Then the cheese hits you. Then a little bit of that aioli hits you. It's just amazing.
The onions just really melt into the cheese, and it gives a nice flavor to the whole burger itself.
Everything combines to make the perfect bite in a perfect burger in a perfect city.
This right here, this is why Chicago is a burger town.
Putting a jaunty Latin remix on the meatball parm is 8 Bar's gooeyest achievement, the spicy meatball fundito.
One of the keys to making great meatballs is the panade. It's a mixture of bread, milk, and eggs. I like to use day-old bread. It helps maintain the moisture.
While that sets a smell, Danny adds ricotta, Parmesan, black pepper, and red pepper.
Oh, it's a spicy meatball.
Rather than the volleyball-sized meatballs you get at some places, Danny prefers something more in the gumball range.
For us, we like to do nice little small balls. You get a lot of them. No one's gonna be complaining having a few more balls on their plate. And everybody gets a meatball with every bite.
Those are cooked in cast iron casseroles with tangy marinara and a ton of Chihuahua cheese.
Chihuahua cheese is like mozzarella cheese. It's creamy, it's stringy, it melts really good, and caramelizes even better.
And trust me, he knows cheese.
This looks like a big mistake, but I promise it comes out good.
He'll drape that crispy cheese lid over the top of his fundito. First, some tangy pop.
Jardiniere is a spicy pickled vegetable that we love here in Chicago. I personally love this stuff, so I'm gonna be generous. All right, here we go. Moment of truth. Oh my God. Doesn't that look awesome? Best of both worlds. Melty, gooey cheese, crunchy caramelized cheese.
Serve it with fresh basil and homemade tortillas.
A little Italian, a little Mexican, but all Chicago.
I love the burnt, crusty cheese on the top. You gotta poke through it to get through to the marinara and the cheese and the meatballs. It's just perfect bite.
I can definitely taste the jardiniere, the spiciness of the meatballs. The meat is just so juicy, and the marinara sauce is like outstanding.
The fundito is crisp and covered, and the amount of cheese is just overwhelming almost. With the jardiniere, the freshness of the peppers, onion, and all over cheese.
It's indulgent, it's flavorful. The best thing about it is the cheese. For someone who loves cheese very much, this is perfect.
In Chicago, you can never be too hungry for dinner at 8. 8 bar, that is.
Chicago.
Chicago.
Chicago's Irving Park neighborhood's always been a quiet area, except for the meat-fueled flavor ruckus being raised at Smoke Barbecue.
Smoke is the best place to eat barbecue in Chicago. Utterly amazing, from the brisket to the mac and cheese and everything in between.
Credit native son and self-taught barbecue phenom, Barry Sorkin.
I was working for an IT consulting company, and after 8 years, I found myself going, you know, I don't love IT, I love barbecue. So it was time to do this.
Barry was ready for a change. So was Chicago.
Think about what Chicagoans eat. Beef sandwiches and your pork sandwiches, and barbecue to me fits right into that. But for some reason, there just wasn't a lot of barbecue.
And as the town queued up, the awards rolled in.
The Michelin Viv Award is for restaurants that are a little more casual. We've won it every year since they've been doing that award in Chicago.
A big reason is the tender tastiness of Smoke's brisket platter.
I'd never seen a place sell brisket. Our first day, I think we cooked 3 briskets just to see if anybody was interested in them, and we were sold out in like an hour.
Now, everyone in Chi-Town loves brisket, and Barry has to keep up with major demand.
This may look like a big piece of meat, but when this comes out of the smoker, it's gonna be about half this size. This will feed about 10 people.
It gets seasoned with Barry's blend of 13 spices, including a pucker-making sour salt.
If you taste this rub now, it's really strong and really pungent. In fact, you probably wouldn't think to put it on your food. But 14 hours later, everything kind of mellows, it mixes with the juices in the meat, and it creates something that's special.
While the brisket embarks on its 14-hour smoke, Barry reveals the secret of his very own magic beans.
A lot of people would just use ketchup in their beans, but we have a lot of barbecue sauce, and it's got so much more flavor than ketchup that we would rather add that.
Then Barry reveals secret number 2.
I like to put them in the smoker underneath a rack of ribs, because as they both cook, those ribs are going to drip into the beans and give them even more flavor.
Just like the sharp cheddar mixed into the mac and cheese that gets baked to gooey greatness, or the serious bark smoked onto that brisket.
Now's the fun part. We get to taste it. It doesn't get better.
Unless by better you mean more, like a ½ pound of the brisket and all the right fixins.
Sweet Home Chicago has got the smoke.
Whoa. Woo. The meat is very tender, very juicy. Everything is just awesome.
Smoked brisket tastes so good, and literally you could put it on your tongue and it feels like it's gonna melt.
I
don't know how long they smoked this for, but it is packed with flavor, falling apart in an absolutely perfect way. Delicious.
The smoked beans are truly one of the world's great pleasures. Outstanding.
That is a phenomenal mac and cheese. That is good.
It's fluffy, it's cheesy, it's light. Cheese-tastic.
Man cannot live on brisket alone, so Smoke's going big with their St. Louis-style ribs.
They're a little meatier, a little fattier, and a lot more flavorful than a baby back rib.
But there's more to it than just the cut of meat.
11 years ago, on the north side, they used to steam their ribs. On the south side, they used to grill them. We brought real smoked barbecue, and the rest is history.
Barry's historic ribs get that same rub.
One of the nice things about being in Chicago, which doesn't have such deep roots in barbecue, is that you can do whatever you want. So it's a St. Louis-style rib with a Memphis dry rub, but these are our own creation.
It only takes 4 hours in the smoker for these bad boys to become the pride of the Midwest.
That's what a St. Louis rib should look like. You got meat that holds its shape, but is tender and comes off the bone clean.
Stacked high and dry with just a little side of sauce.
Ribs don't get any better than this, Chicago style.
Oh my God. It's really tender on the inside. The rub on the outside just makes it so much more flavorful. It's just really good all around.
The meat itself is tender with a nice smoke to it. Look at the smoke rings on that. The sauce is fantastic. You have all the different barbecue flavors of the rainbow all in one bite.
The sauce on the ribs just makes it taste more tangy, and it kind of balances out the smoke flavor. This is the best barbecue I've ever had. Sorry, Dad.
Don't worry if those ribs start a family feud. Thanks to the folks at Smoke, you'll always have a home-cooked meal. Lately, Latin culture has had an exciting influence on weaving the colorful fabric that is Chicago, especially when it comes to food. And we've got a hot tip on the Mex big thing, Semitas. So what's a Semita?
It's pretty hard to describe it.
Is it a city in Mexico? I think, right?
Heard it was like a Mexican sandwich.
That is correct.
Move over, burritos and tacos.
At Semitas Puebla in the West Loop, Stephanie Perez spreads the good news like it's fresh guacamole.
The semita is very regional. It's different. Unless you're from Puebla, you usually don't hear about it, which makes us pretty unique.
Here's one big enough to feed the whole nuclear family, the Atomica.
The Atomica, 3 layers of meat, all pork. That is the sandwich that we're known for.
Pork ground zero of the Atomica is a crunchy fried breaded cutlet called a milanesa.
There's no way you're Mexican to not eat a milanesa at some point in your life.
If you like schnitzel or chicken fried steak, then you'll love a milanesa.
You can bread and fry just about anything.
The second kind of pork is more of that thin sliced loin, but this time marinated in a smoky, spicy red enchilada sauce.
The ingredients that we have to make the marinade is our chile guajillo, which is the most important flavor. It's the thing that gives it its rich, dark color.
Along with Roma tomatoes, apple cider vinegar, bay leaf, and other spices. All those flavors lock in on the grill. And finally, a friendly fist bump to the immigrants who helped settle this area, Polish ham.
Just our take on adding a little Chicago to it. It gives it a nice saltiness to the richness of the enchilada and the milanesa.
Of course, with the semita, the bread is half the game. Softer than a torta roll, crispier than a brioche, and oh so tasty.
So lay them out, then we use our avocado and spread it all a nice thick layer. Then our chipotle sauce, we just do a nice little circle around. Obviously, the more chipotle sauce, the more heat it is. 4 half slices of the Polish ham, the carne enchilada, and then our milanesa. Then we layer it off with our Oaxaca cheese, like a shredded mozzarella. It has a really nice stringy texture to it.
Let's drop this bomb.
Es la mejor semita en Chicago. Prueba la Atomica.
Check that out, baby. Here we go. No talking now, just eating.
It's really cool that there's 3 styles of pork in there, and they're all different textures. It's like a party in your mouth, honestly.
I don't even know what's going on in there.
The Oaxaca cheese really just hugs the sandwich, like in a very special kind of like, this is my sandwich kind of way.
The bread is the best part. It's so good. I know it's made inside in the bakery fresh every morning, so that must have something to do with it.
Stephanie's been honing her cooking skills from a very young age.
As a Mexican, you're in the kitchen so you can start holding a knife, especially during the holidays when like all of the women in my family, and we're gonna make tamales, pozole, which is labor intensive, and you just kind of learn to pick it up and you get used to the kitchen.
Can't decide what to order? Get a savory sampler. The Semita's Flight. Now, which meat is your favorite, Steph?
It's like choosing between your 3 kids. You love them all, but you usually do have a preference towards one. Mine is definitely carne asada.
Good choice.
This is your classic carne asada. It's a nice lean cut of steak. We take off all the fat and then we grill it off. And then this is just gonna turn a dark, rich brown. It looks good. It looks like steak, and I love steak, so this is gonna be good.
The state of Puebla has a big Lebanese population, and they brought with them meat number 2, carne arabe, or Arab style.
The arabe meat is a pork loin. Definitely the vinegar and the parsley and the cumin that we add is the flavors that come out the most. It's by far the most original flavored meat that we have. It really gives it a kick to the meat. It's what makes it very different.
That big rotating meat stack wearing the pineapple hat? That's good old al pastor. Meat number 3.
Your traditional al pastor that you'll find just about in any street vendor in Mexico. We let it sit on the spit rotating 13 hours. It's a very slow cook. That way all of the juices get soaked up. Then we slice it down and serve it up.
Stephanie gets our 3 slider amigos built pronto. You definitely need these.
Because you're once, twice, 3 times Semitas.
Oh, I don't know which one to do first. That's awesome.
How's that arabe treating you?
It's so good. It's got more of a lighter feel than the carne asada.
Any thoughts on the al pastor?
It's kind of like if you were gonna make an avocado toast into a pork belly slider.
That is a great description.
Pat myself on the pork shoulder.
Tacos and burritos will always be there, Chicago. Next lunch, why not go for something a little more
adventurous?
If there had been restaurants back when pioneers first settled this lakeshore flatland now known as Chicago, they'd have been as wild and free as the frontier.
You can go to several amazing restaurants in Chicago and have an awesome experience, but here you get to kind of ooh and ah and talk to the chef and see them actually preparing it for you, which is really unique. The perfect place for a party.
This frontier is full of all your rib-sticking standards, but what really has Chicago diners in a dither are their whole animal dinners.
We do whole pig, boar, lamb, goat, alligator, salmon. Chicagoans are very adventurous. There's so many different types of foods and styles. The beauty of Frontier, what we like is we're using everything, so we're not afraid to try anything.
Their most popular full beast bonanza? Whole roasted hog. Executive Chef Brian Jupiter, welcome to Food Paradise.
Look, Mama, I made it.
For his whole hog feast, Brian ditches the rub and goes for a full flavor brine injection instead.
To start my brine, I get a little bit of brown sugar, onion powder, some bourbon, some for the pig, some for me. Woo. Some OJ, pineapple juice, apple cider vinegar, parsley, some rosemary, and a lot of salt. You're seasoning a lot of meat, so you need it to penetrate.
Finally, a little Cajun heat and fizzy soda water to tenderize.
Now add soda water to it because the acid of it helps to break down the meat and make a more tender product.
Brian blends it and strains it, and by Jupiter, we're ready to inject. With the swine full of brine, it's over to the smoker.
I use some apple wood and cherry wood that just really gives it a nice, sweet, smoky flavor.
He'll bring it all the way home in about 6 hours. For now, let's do a side dish. Frontier's exquisite mac and cheese. Brian brings some heavy cream to a boil.
I like heavy cream over milk because it's just richer, gives you a better sauce. And salt and pepper because no bland food over here.
And here's your 5-cheese dream team.
Monterey Jack, cheddar cheese, your Munster, your provolone, Parmesan cheese.
Big cheese flavor, but the pasta is teeny. Rotini.
Because it just lets all that cheese and that good gooiness get locked in to each and every piece of the pasta.
On goes extra cheese, and it bakes in the same skillet it was made in.
This is not your ordinary mac and cheese.
Pair that mac with the sweet smoky roast, and you've got a party on your hands.
That is so cool.
Everyone gets a little bit of everything as Chef Jupe carves out all the cuts. Slices of roast pork, piles of pulled pork, pork ribs, pork chops, pork out.
Succulent, very flavorful. You know, and it's nice to have each cut of meat on one plate.
Tender, it's juicy, smoky, super impressed.
I got some ribs. They're really moist and juicy, tender, and I love it.
You can definitely tell they smoked this. It's got a lot of garlic in it, but it really lets the meat shine through. It's not overpowering.
He's a happy man.
Chef Jupe uses 5 cheeses. It's his grandma's recipe. It's so cheesy, so delicious, so creamy. Ultimate comfort food. I can probably eat a dangerous amount of that if unsupervised.
Clean plates, full tummies, can't lose. That's how they do it at Frontier, here in
Sweet Home Chicago.
When it comes to meaty, cheesy, hearty comfort food, nobody does it like Sweet Home Chicago.